Greetings to all of you. Welcome to Code Sprint. So, on this channel, we discuss computer science fundamentals, data structures, algorithm, web development concepts, and many technological and interesting things. So, this is our first video, and our first computer science core fundamental subject is computer networks, which is very important and it plays a very crucial role in many placement drives in colleges. So, in starting, we cover that what is OSI model. So it is open. Its full form is Open System Interconnection. It is a reference model which is proposed by the ISO International Standard Organization. It tells us how should we transfer data from receivers end, from senders end, sorry, to the receivers. Also receive the feedback, acknowledgement, or response from the receivers end to the senders. All the things which happens on the back end when we do that covers in this OSI model. As I said, this is a reference model. It is not implemented in the real network. In the real network, we have TCP IP model which is implemented. So let's move to the introduction of OSI model. So the OSI model is 7-layer conceptual framework. As I said, is a reference model, also called, also you can say conceptual framework. It's not implemented in the real network, published by ISO, which is written here. You can read it. So before going further, you should understand that you have to learn or memorize the name of each layer of the mod. This is arranged in top bottom to top fashion. Physical layer, which is at the bottom of this model, and the application layer, which is at the top, which we use applications like Gmail, any application, any gaming application, anything, Google. So, and physical layer is devices. So, this is the acronym, a trick to learn this. Please do not throw sausage pizza away. Who else will throw? Please, please is physical. Do is data link. Not is network. Throw is transport. Sausage is session. Pizza is presentation. Away is application. So this is how you can learn. Very easy trick. You can repeat it 10 to 12 times. You will learn very easily. It is not a trick. It is not that trick which you forget easily. You can forget if you don't want to learn. So here are the layers which are arranged in the right fashion. Our first layer is physical layer, which is at the bottom. A data link layer, the network layer, third layer, fourth layer is transport, fifth is session, sixth is presentation, and seventh is application. So data travels all of these layers. So how is this happen? How data travels? We'll cover in the example we will discuss later. But here you can see if you want to make a diagram at your college examination or you want to explain some interviewer by writing on notepad. I think they did not ask these concepts in writing on notepad, but they ask it verbally. Still, if you want to write all of this in your examination, it will be very effective to get you marks because here we have all the protocols. Protocols are rules in each layer. We will discuss that. All the protocols are written in each box. All the name of the data is different in every layer, which is called protocol data unit. In physical, it's bits, then it become frame, then network, it's become packet. In transport, it becomes segment, then the other layers, it becomes the usual, we call it data. Let's move to the detail of the each layer, a crisp detail. So let's move on to the transport layer and other layers. So transport layer is the layer which ensure that the data is reached at the destination. There are protocols in this TCP UDP. It also has the addressing protocol which adds the port number which decides to which application you have to go after going to the particular IP address. We will cover that in future. Now there's a session layer. You have seen there your session is ended on many platforms like Zoom. The session is ended. So session is the communication window. So session layer manages it, opens it, and closes this window. Come to the presentation layer. It presents the data in the required format so that receiver can understand the data. For example, I am sending 01010, which is a code message, but on the receiver's end, it is the message that hello. So presentation layer decrypts the data so that sender receiver can easily communicate. Last but not the least, very important, we use all the time, application layer. Application layer is a layer in which all of our application, its name suggests, all of our applications are there. Google is there, Google Maps is there. Many applications you can count on the fingers. Your Instagram is there. You have rolled Instagram many times. Instagram is also in the application layer. So what we see on our hands, on YouTube, on Instagram, on any social media, which it is traverse through a long distance, but in few seconds, microseconds. How it happens? But it happens in it is divided in this layer by OSI framework. So network computer networks is an interesting subject, which is a part of our daily life. Everyone uses mobile phone. Everyone is involved in the computer networks. So let's move to the other interesting things of OSI model. So let's start from the physical layer. Physical layer has some functions. First function is the representation of data in bits. It present the data. Second function it's link line configuration. That's how the devices at this layer is connected because it is at the physical level, not at the application level which we use at the physical level. So how line configuration means how your devices are connected, whether it is connected to one point to another, whether one device is connected to multiple device, or one server is connected to multiple device, multi-point connection, multi-point line configuration, or point-to-point line configuration. These are the configuration which will be covered in future videos, but I'm telling you in brief. And there are also topologies in which manner all devices share data. Bus topology, star topology, many topologies are there. Then we get to the data link layer. In data link layer, there are functions for MAC addressing, access control, which I have tell you the link between two devices. How to access that link, which is covered in the data link layer, that's covered in data. And if any error happens during transmission of data, who will be responsible? Data link layer. If you send it more data at the receiver side, and the receivers don't want it, who will be responsible for that? To checking that receivers want how many data, how much quantity of data it will. Then also data link layer will be responsible. Flow control functionality. This that's what I mentioned now. So these all are the functions of data link layer. We will cover all of these in some. We'll cover all of this in detail. But you have to understand that data travels in each of this layer. You will you will be you will be interested by seeing the example which we cover later. Then we get to the network layer, which has functions like IP addressing, routing. What is IP addressing? So every layer you see is giving some address. Every layer is giving some address to its data. Here, data link is giving the MAC address device. It is giving the IP address to the network or to the device. Encapsulation. It is a process of adding the header when data travels from the application layer to the below at the end at the physical layer. Then in on each layer, some header is added. When it is traversed to application layer, session layer, presentation layer, session layer, then transport layer. At the transport layer, TCP header is added. At the network layer, then IP header is added. So why are these headers are added? So remember it as somewhat you are sending someone a letter by via post office. So you just put your address on the letter cover. You cover it. You also encapsulating it. Now there are many letters there in the post office. They make a big packet. They are also encapsulating it. Encapsulating is just you can say putting inside the envelope. I put letter inside the envelope, then my envelope is put inside a packet, then my packet is put inside a big box. So what I'm doing, I'm enveloping the things. The process of adding envelope like headers at each layer down the OSI layer is encapsulation. So where are we on what thing we are putting the headers on data? So we are encapsulating the data, we are enveloping the data when we are going down from application layer to the physical layer. So we are here with the example uh, which for which we are waiting that how when the example comes and when we understand what really happens. So on when you search in Google, so in application layer where your application is there, where your Google Chrome browser app is there, when you open the app, you search your favorite thing. That thing which you search is in English language, which is not understandable by the server. So what servers do? It map the link to the IP address. Now, how it happens? There's a list where links are there and their IP address are. For example, I searched facebook.com. which is an irony. Both are competitors. So I searched Facebook.com. So there is a service called domain name service, which maps the URL to the IP address. Then when I request Facebook.com, IP address is received. That IP address, where I have the address of someone, somebody, any people, so I can go there. So the server understands the IP address. Server do not understand Facebook.com. So we send IP address to server, not Facebook.com. Facebook.com is converted into IP address by Mr. DNS, and the DNS uncle sends it to server. Now, server has a list of IP address and its responses. It maps the IP address with the response and get back to the client, to you, and that's how you get your website. So, in between this process, many things happen. When it is going to the server after the DNS resolution, it there should be a connection between the server and you so that you can communicate to each other. So that connection happens the transport layer. In transport layer, connection established. You make connection to the server, and server makes connection with you so that you can transfer data. You can get your Facebook.com page on your app. So first, it goes to the transport layer after application layer. Actually, application layer consists of the three of the layers come in the application layer. We will cover that in future in TCP IP model. That session layer, representation layer, and application layer all are just similar. We'll cover that. But after you request something like Facebook.com, we will cover that get request. We are getting something that's why it's get request. So in transport layer, you establish a connection because without establishing a connection, you cannot get any page or any data or anything from the server. Server is your server, he is your servant. So server is any device is server which gets you the data. So transport layer used to establish the connection. Then it goes to the network layer. So I have told you that application layer in DNS uncle is DNS protocol, domain name server, maps the Facebook.com with the IP address and IP address sent to the server. That IP address is provided by the network layer after the transfer. That IP address from the DNS is provided by the network. After that, we get to the main data office of the Google. So that IP address is mapped with the MAC. MAC is the MAC. You can also see when you open your Bluetooth or any hotspot, you will see the MAC address there. Every device has the MAC address to communicate. So IP address is mapped with the MAC address, which is ARP and RARP protocols. So it is reached to the Google. Now it is on the Google physical. Now it is close to the physical layer and at the Google's office, data office. So after finding the device from MAC address, I have the address MAC address. MAC address is the address of device. So when I have the address of some, I can go there. So request goes there and find the exact device where my response facebook.com is there. So then we come to the physical layer. We are here with the data. The facebook.com page is in this form. You can see at the bottom 000. We cannot understand it, but let me get to the next slide. So from that server web host, now it is reverse back. Now it is in reverse fashion. It will traverse from the physical layer to the application layer. Now from switch, It MAC ad so MAC address is read, everything is happening. I have explained you this crossing them. So I will explain all those things that has that has something with devices switch router. I will explain in future. But now decapsulation happens. We have the data in bits. Now I have told you. So now that bit is being now the everything we have encapsulated. We are enveloping by client to server when the request is sent. We are enveloping the data with many headers. Now those headers should be removed. When you send letter at the destination, when I have to send the letter from Agra to Kanpur, so Kanpur is the place where box is open. Now decapsulation happens. A packet is open. Now my letter is there. Now letter is sent to the receiver which I have sent to someone. So that's process is now started happening. We are moving to the decapsulation process, de-encapsulation process, in which all headers are stripped until it reached you, the application layer, and the data is array. I have told you that presentation layer presents the data that you need in that format, in your required format. So all the 001 data is converted to frame converted to packet converted to then in many data PDU and many data units covered, we get back to the application layer. Your Facebook.com page is here by your favorite presentation layer and application layers get activated. This is your Facebook.com. So that's how data moves on one request in milliseconds in the covering these layers. So this is the full round trip we have covered. Encapsulation headers added, decapsulation headers removed. It's just like a post office, very much similar. When you send someone post office, it is very much packed in many envelopes inside. So it's and then when it reaches the final destination, it is decapsulated. Decapsulated. Decapsulating means re-enveloping. De-enveloping also, so you can say that we are putting data outside the envelope. There are the key takeaways. First of all, you have to learn the acronym before we cover each layer in detail. This is just a crisp, detailed video which will give you the idea of OSI layer. If you understand this video 50% only, then it's fine. You understand the flow, then it is very good. So nobody you should read all these key takeaways. That when you go up to down, it's encapsulation. Bottom to up is decapsulation. Switches, routers we will include in upcoming videos, which will in detail. So, okay, thank you for watching this video up to this mark. We will meet in another video, next video very soon. Thank you so much.